Hi there, Joka here with my small die kit project for the month of January. You can see that there is an ampersand here that you can add a second layer to if you want to use different colors for that ampersand. And there's a few little flowers and a bunch of sentiments that work with the ampersand, but there's also happy birthday that would work without the ampersand. If you've been following me for some time, then you will have seen some ampersand cards that I made before. No, I even mentioned it, I think, that there's absolutely no reason or, for me to use ampersands. It's just something I've been doing for years. I love the design. There's so many different ones, and I used it a lot on scrapbook layouts especially, but I already have made cards with it. But in this case, actually, the sentiments are built in a way that the ampersand makes sense. So there's two parts to the sentiment. But otherwise, the design and everything, I just went with the same kind of concept that I always do. Long story short, I die cut the ampersand from color cardstock and also from white, and then I layered it up. And then sentiments, two colors. This one, it doesn't have a name, this 3D embossing folder or like a code on it, but I will link it in the description box below. I think it's called Puff Dotty or something like that. It's gorgeous, and look at that color on that cardstock. I did use it in December, I think, in one of the videos, this cobalt blue. And it's been on my desk ever since. So it's funny, my friend was here for New Year's Eve, and she went to my desk and she was like, oh my god, that blue is so beautiful. It really is. The video doesn't, or even the pictures don't do it justice, but it's just a gorgeous color. Okay, so I messed up something here. I flattened out some of the dots because I put the glue on that side, and then I kind of, when I attach this white cardstock panel to make it more sturdy, so I could add this really thin layer of foam tape. I kind of flattened it out. So normally I actually add the double-sided tape on the white cardstock, and then I don't damage the 3D design. At least that's what I remember. It wasn't even a long time ago that I crafted last, but it was still longer than normal, or made videos, and I feel like I'm out of practice. So please bear with me. On the first card, I am just creating 3 little clusters of flowers. You can see that these flowers are really easy to make. They only have just a couple of, layers, or just one layer and the flower center. So they are easy to make. And I die cut each and every one of the flowers from a variety of cardstock. So a bunch of different blues, a bunch of different oranges, and then I just mix and match them. And the only thing, the greenery, so to say, the leaves, I die cut all from navy cardstock, so that I had to die cut a few times. I think I did 4 times. But again, this went really fast. You really don't need much here. And I'm just creating one focal point on my card, basically, so the big ampersand with the flowers, and then I will also add the sentiment on top of the ampersand. So I will have a lot of white space in the back, which is why I actually used a 3D embossing folder to give it a bit of texture. I normally like to cover my whole background, if that makes sense. Anyway, once I'm happy with the design, I am gluing down everything in place. And by the way, I use two different colors or two different cardstocks for the ampersand, but the camera just doesn't pick it up. In this case, the smaller part of the ampersand is the barely peach. I think it's called barely peach cardstock from Spellbinders, and the larger piece of the ampersand is a Dutch brand. I keep forgetting the name. I mentioned it in more video. The blue one is from them as well. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that is a little bit darker. It's a darker shade of that same color, and it's a different texture. But again, maybe the detail or the close-up photos will pick it up, but this one doesn't. And on my second card, I will use the same two colors, but then the other way around. So I basically die cut the ampersand twice, once from each cardstock. So again, like I said, these went really fast. Now, this is the other embossing folder. This is one of my favorites. It's a wonderful, wonderful, busy design full of flowers. So actually, I thought, because I was already building a floral design on the card, I thought a darker background would be better, because then you don't see the that busy texture as much as on a lighter cardstock, or at least that's what I think. And then I trimmed off a little bit from the sides, so I have a little white frame around it. And again, I'm adding a heavyweight cardstock to it to make it sturdier, and this very thin foam tape. I think this is 2 millimeters thick. I like to use this for bigger panels, just to give it give the card or the panel a little bit of lift, but not too much, so it doesn't add a whole lot of dimension, but still you can see that there is dimension. And by the way, these two cards are A2 size, just for the just so that you see how big the ampersand is. That's why I'm mentioning the size, because lately I've been doing a lot of larger cards. So I thought that was important to mention. And then here I'm actually going to do what I always, like 98% of the time do with the ampersand, is that I'm adding flowers behind it on the left side mostly. Kind of, I don't even know how to explain. Anyway, now that I'm doing the voiceover, I realized that I wanted to add some photos of earlier projects, scrapbook projects, just to show you the different designs I've created. But I totally forgot about it, and now it's too late to add them. But anyway, I probably wouldn't even find them, because I don't name the projects. They are on my server. They are organized by month and theme. I would never, or brand, I would never find them, probably, if I don't remember when I made them exactly. So, but if you go back on my Instagram, you probably will see some. Okay, so once I glue down those flowers, I'm also gluing down the ampersand, and I will add some more. Basically, I just added the smaller ones for now, and I will add these larger flowers on top of the ampersand. In the end, I don't know, I might have actually covered up a little bit too much. I don't know, but anyway, I still like the beautiful design of the ampersand. And I will add some enamel dots for flower centers on the small flowers that are tucked under the ampersand. And in fact, this one I had to cut in half, because I decided later that I will add it, so I couldn't tuck it under the ampersand anymore. And now I'm just trying to see what else, or where is a spot where I could still add something. And I decided to add a different color to my sentiments. I did not like that dark. I liked the color, the terracotta color, but I did not like it with this project. So I added Barley Peach on top. And in this case, you see the sentiment actually comes together with the ampersand. You are above and over the rest. And to be honest, this was the only way I could imagine adding the sentiment, well, at least on the A2 card, in a way that it looks okay, at least to me. So one sentiment at the top and one at the bottom. But I'm sure there are more creative ways than this. This is like the most obvious way, I guess. So I was not done. Finally, I have a kind of cobalt blue enameled dot in my shop, and this one is a new color, so I had to use it, obviously. So it's a bit darker than the cardstock, but I think it matches perfectly. It's beautiful. So I added some around the left, mostly the left side of the ampersand, and then I will also come in with the same enamel dots on the first card. Now you can see that they are a darker shade. Yeah, I added a few around each cluster, and then I'm done with the 2 cards. Here, this you have to do carefully so that you don't ruin the 3D effect in the background. Yeah, it's both cards are done. They are very simple, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I could give you some kind of inspiration, however small it is. Thank you very much for watching. Again, thank you very much for all your support and well wishes. And again, Happy New Year. Hope you have a healthy and prosperous new year. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.